They didn't tell me much about the Slipgate. They'd hired some creepy egghead to build it in the underground levels. Gilman, I think his name was. But what else was he doing down there? Why was the facility laid out like a death trap? When I used that first Slipgate, I got zapped to somewhere else, but it looked the same. Had they already gone through and built a base on the other side? What about those psycho Marines, the poor bastards? Who did that to them? Was it Quake? Or was it Gilman?
Welcome back to the last episode of the Quake Lore series. Today, we dive headfirst into the final chapter with Ranger. In this concluding segment, our attention will remain solely on the original mission of Quake. While the expansion packs introduced fascinating settings, monsters, and items that are recognized within the Quake universe, the narratives they present stand apart. The storylines from these expansions are not considered official canon in light of the recent additions and lore developments within Quake Champions.
I woke up in a tight space. Ran into some of those messed up soldiers and those creepy dogs. Once I reached that room, there it was. The Slipgate, buzzing, glowing, and giving off this strange pulse. Had a gut feeling about it, but I stepped through anyway. Next thing I knew, a massive castle was staring right back at me.
The Slipgate had worked perfectly, transporting Ranger into another dimension within the vast expanse of the dreamlands. He had arrived at the Castle of the Damned, a fortress conjured from the imagination of a dreamer from a time long past. The foes Ranger encountered in this realm bore a striking difference to those he faced in the base. Armored knights, brandishing swords, eldritch scrags, fiends, and the also ogres, their monstrous forms wielding grenades and chainsaws with a brutish efficiency. Each gate Ranger took led him to darker, more foreboding places. From the majestic castle levels, he descended into watery, shadowy catacombs, confronting relentless zombies and the colossal shamblers. These monstrous beings, when not delivering devastating blows, hurled deadly lightning bolts, giving their targets scant moments to seek cover. But each gate he conquered led to yet another. He navigated dark caverns filled with vast lakes and mysterious submerged structures. He survived grim castles. Immense fortresses with devious contraptions and obstacles seemed to stretch endlessly, challenging his every step.
After duking it out with another damn shambler, I spotted that teleporter. The thing was glowing and hot as hell. I took the leap.
The world that materialized before him was dominated by a vast lava pit. Metal catwalks surrounded the fiery lake, and in front of him floated a rune, beckoning, enticing. The moment his fingers grazed its surface, the lava erupted, giving birth to a monstrosity. Towering in stature, this Vadrigar entity was an embodiment of terror. The very air around it was thick with heat and palpable rage. Instinctively, Ranger aimed and unleashed a barrage of bullets and explosive pulses, but the beast remained unscathed, unbothered. Ascending to the next level, he noticed them, large stone buttons engraved with cryptic symbols.
Figured out the trick with that puzzle. Did the thing 2 more times, and each time that monster screamed like hell. By the third, it just gave out. Took you down, you ugly bastard. Back to hell where you belong.
As the corpse of the monstrous entity, Chthon, sinks back into the lava whence it rose, you grip the rune of earth magic tightly.
Every time I found one, my head flooded with stuff I wasn't supposed to know. Stuff no one should know.
Now that you have conquered the dimension of the doomed realm of earth magic, you are ready to complete your task. A rune of magic power lies at the end of each haunted land of Quake. Go forth, seek the totality of the 4 runes.
In the expanded lore provided by Quake Champions, the defeat of chthon marks a pivotal shift in the cosmic balance of the dimension of the doomed. Following his vanquishment, chthon is banished to another realm, making way for a new ruler to ascend the throne. Intriguingly, this new ruler is none other than Goroth, who is believed to have emerged from Commander Rice's transformation into a dreamer after his exploration of Dr. Gilman's lab.
Doesn't make any sense. I was fighting for my life as soon as I got there, and then things just kept getting darker and weirder. There were other slipgates, and I went through them. Nowhere else to go. No idea where they were leading to.
As Ranger progressed, each realm proved more treacherous than the last. In the realm of black magic, new foes arose. The beefed-up Enforcer, resembling an upgraded version of the Grunt, the decaying Rotfish lurking beneath the still waters, and the Death Knight. These once formidable warrior kings, now corrupted and consumed by dark powers, showcasing terrifying prowess in melee combat or their ability to rain down multiple projectiles from a distance. The journey reveals powerful weapons like the rocket launcher or the thunderbolt in the Wizard's Manse, a once regal dwelling of a swamp wizard. In the cavernous depths, the Vores awaited, guarding the coveted rune of black magic. This beast was a formidable foe. It launches violet-spiked pods that track their target, exploding upon impact and causing significant damage.
The rune of black magic throbs evilly in your hand and whispers dark thoughts into your brain.
That's how I learned what Quake was. Shub-Niggurath, a pile of letters for a pile of tentacles.
You now know that she is behind all the terrible plotting which has led to so much death and horror. But she is not inviolate. Armed with this rune, you realize that once all 4 runes are combined, the gate to Shub-Niggurath's pit will open, and you can face the witch goddess herself in her frightful otherworld cathedral.
Ranger now enter the ominous netherworld. Upon entry, he's warned of the primal fear in a strange dimension. The central gameplay experience of this episode is designed to evoke a sense of unadulterated fear. This realm is a bleak and desolate landscape, saturated with religious and satanic iconography that hints at its hellish nature. Notably, this episode features an abundance of lava, adding an extra layer of peril to an already menacing environment. Ranger faced everything from the perilous death traps of the Tomb of Terror, the vast dominion of Satan's dark delight, to the confounding maze-like corridors of the wind tunnels. Yet, the true test of his valor was still ahead. He finally reached the daunting Chambers of Torment. There, at the end of a long bridge set against a vast expanse of seething lava, awaited the 3rd rune. But this was no simple retrieval.
Thought one of those damned Vores was trouble enough. No running from that.
The charred viscera of diabolic horrors bubble viscously as you seize the rune of hell magic. Its heat scorches your hand, and its terrible secrets blight your mind. Gathering the shreds of your courage, you shake the devil's shackles from your soul and become ever more hard and determined to destroy the hideous creatures whose mere existence threatens the souls and psyches of all the population of Earth.
In the haunting realm of the Elder World, Ranger finds himself amidst intricacies beyond comprehension. The 4th realm draws heavily from the mind of H.P. Lovecraft, immersing Ranger in an eldritch atmosphere teeming with otherworldly horrors. The emphasis here is on grand arcane structures and mysterious locales, featuring some of the toughest monsters right from the early stages. A new adversary introduced in this episode is the Spawn. Also known as Tarbaby, is a frantic blue blob with a gaping maw and tiny eye holes. This creature aggressively flings itself at Ranger, inflicting harm with every wild lunge. However, it's not just its attacks that are a threat. When a spawn meets its end, it erupts in a powerful explosion, dealing severe damage to anything nearby.
Endless corridors felt like a relentless grind. It finally opened up into a vast chamber. There it was, the rune of elder magic. Behind those damned Vores. Not 2, but 4 of them. Just my luck.
Despite the awful might of the Elder World, you have achieved the rune of elder magic, capstone of all types of arcane wisdom. Beyond good and evil, beyond life and death, the rune pulsates, heavy with import. You sense tremendous invisible forces moving to unseal ancient barriers. Shub-Niggurath had hoped to use the runes herself to clear off the earth. If you defeat her, you will be remembered forever as the savior of the planet. If she conquers, it will be as if you had never been born.
After collecting all 4 runes, a large hole in the main dimension's select room leads to Shub-Niggurath's pit. The level unfolds in 2 distinct phases. It commences in a compact, waterlogged crypt, where the player's immediate objective is to dismantle a set of bars that block access to a blazing teleporter. Once this task is accomplished, the scene shifts dramatically.
The weight of my journey, the horrors I'd witnessed, all led to this singular moment. Time to end this, you ugly bitch.
Ranger discovers that conventional weapons are ineffective against Shub-Niggurath. This forces him to battle through a gauntlet of her monstrous minions to locate a specialized teleporter. Through keen observation, he deduced he had to wait until the spike ball, known as the Dire Orb, was positioned inside the dark deity before stepping into the teleporter.
Those slipgates led me to all 4 runes. Did someone or something want me to find them? Without them, I never would have gotten to that squirming heap. Never would have found the orb I used to kill her. The game-winning pass. I thought for sure I'd get to go home after that. No such luck.
Transitioning from the aftermath of Quake, Ranger finds himself trapped in the dreamland, caught in an endless cycle of combat against a host of formidable champions. Life in the dreamlands, especially within the arena eternal, is brutal and relentless. Champions are not just in a battle for dominance, but mere survival. Death here is but a momentary hiccup. The ever-watchful Vadrigar, ever thirsty for entertainment, ensure fallen champions are promptly brought back to life to continue the savage dance of combat. In the surreal battlegrounds of these arenas, time is but a mere concept. Warriors plucked from varied epochs and diverse worlds find themselves pitted against one another in relentless combat. Among them, there's one whose history we've previously unraveled: Visor. The mystery of how Visor ended up in these arenas has been preserved until now, and as we delve into it, we uncover revelations that are both fascinating and pivotal to the broader narrative.
Number 17, or should I say Visor. If it is truly you, then I have succeeded. In what, you may ask? I have shown you that in this world we are but flies in a jar of our own making, colliding with impossible walls of sight and touch and smell and sound and taste. These are the bargains of death. These are the corruptions of birth. I know what it is like to live in a cage for so long that you can only walk in circles. I'm well beyond you now, and traveling fast. Can you learn to walk in a different shape? If so, how far can you follow? Find the Slipgate. Go through. Be free. And tell me, number 17. Tell me, what do you see?
Unlike many who find themselves trapped in an eternal battle, for him, this realm, where he can finally discern the truth, might not be a prison but a haven. But what is the Eldritch being depicted at the end of the comic? We believed it to be one of the Elder Gods, but could it be something even more terrible? Our examination led us to believe the entity that Ranger vanquished at the end of the game may not be the adversary we thought it was. Could it be that this elder being was merely a dark young? If so, does this imply that the entity Visor glimpses at the culmination of the comic is not just any eldritch horror, but the mother of all monsters? The black goat of the woods with 1,000 young, the true Shub-Niggurath. The narrative teems with uncertainties, but one thing is for sure, the story is far from over. That wraps up our video. Did you ever think Quake had so much depth in its story? Did we miss any parts or overlook any details? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're hungry for more lore and retrospectives on classic games, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss our upcoming videos. Until next time.